Cena, Mr. Luke Schmiggy, and Mr. Chad Vanderstelt.
Welcome to Wolter Stadium on the campus of Hope College for this NCAA Division III Holland, Michigan Regional Championship contest between the Knights of Calvin College and the Flying Dutch of Hope College. Great job by the Hope College grounds crew again after some heavy rains overnight and this morning to get this field in championship shape for a rivalry showdown between two longtime rivals. Schools not very far apart, share a lot in common, but there's only going to be one regional champion. The Knights are in the driver's seat, undefeated so far in this regional, winning both of their first two games. If they win this contest, they will be regional champions and will advance to next week's Super Regional at a site to be determined against Case Western Reserve. If Hope College needs to win twice today in order to advance to the Super Regional against Case Western Reserve. My Dutch lost to Calvin on Saturday 5-2 in a winner's bracket game, and then Flying Dutch came back and won 6-1 against Franklin College in an elimination game Saturday afternoon, powered by a 3-run homer from second baseman Sierra Muschler. And relief pitching from Sydney Jones struck out 9 of the 15 batters she faced.
Leading off the top of the first inning for the Flying Dutch.
Up for Hope, leading off, Shea Penny, first baseman for the Flying Dutch. Will face Anna Garnott, the outstanding hurler for the Knights. Ball one is the call on the first pitch of the game. 2:45 p.m. start. Now a sunny day here in Holland, Michigan. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. Hope in their all orange uniforms, blue and white trim. Calvin black pants, burgundy top with yellow trim and lettering. Strike two, the call. Gernot gets up 1-2 on the Hope first baseman. Shea batting .273 in this regional so far. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Anna Gernot, first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 14, Joe Cook.
Joe Cook will now bat second. Hope left fielder. Strike on the outside corner. Strike two, the call. 0-2 count now. Gernot gets ahead on Cook. Cook batting .400 coming into during this regional. Ball outside. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. Garnott gets her second strikeout of the inning. That'll bring up Hope catcher Haley Reitzma.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 17, Haley Reitzma.
Look at all the dogs in right field.
Swing and a miss. Garnott starting very strong for the Knights. Been their ace this season. She's allowed just 2 runs in 12 1/3 innings so far. Just misses inside, evens the count at 1-1. Struck out 18 batters and walked 4. Allowed 5 hits. 1.14 ERA. Swing and a miss, strike 2. She's up 1-2 on Reitzma. Fouled back. Reitzma stays alive. In her other appearance, Garnott opened the tournament with a 3-0 shutout of Franklin College. Off-speed pitch, misses outside. Count run to 2-2. Ball low, good eye by Reitzma. Count runs full. Sierra Muschler is on deck, looking to get in a bat if Reitzma reaches. Or not with the pitch. Off speed, takes something off it. Good pitch there, strikes out the side. We go to the bottom of the first. Calvin coming to bat. Katie Singer on the mound for the Flying Dutch. One of two pitchers that have been stalwarts for Hope this season. Katie's part of a senior class, making its third NCAA tournament appearance and its third regional final appearance. A first for the Flying Dutch. Maddie DeGroot, second baseman, leading off for Calvin. DeGroot batting .200 in this tournament, but has 2 RBIs. Knights hitting .308 as a team in this regional, while opponents are hitting just .125. Strike one, the call. Ball misses outside, evens the count at 1-1. Fouled back, 1-2 the count. Singer has a 2.10 ERA. In this regional, giving up 1 run in 3 1/3 innings. She took a line drive off the shin. Ground ball. Sierra Muschler with it. Rips to Penny at first for out number 1. In the elimination game against Franklin, she took a hard comebacker off her shin and stayed in for a couple batters, but then came out and was relieved by Jones. Jessica Brasser, third baseman for the Knights, will bat. Jessica hitting .571 in this regional with 4 hits. Takes a ball outside. Also driven in 2 runs, 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts. Just misses the corner, 2-0 the count. Swing and a miss. Singer gets her first strike at the at-bat. It's DeGroot and Brasser with 2 RBIs apiece to lead the Knights in this regional. Misses outside, 3-1 the count. Pitch, grounder to first. Penny picks it up. Easy out. Out number 2. And that'll bring up the Calvin catcher, Grace Stock. Grace is looking for her first hit of the regional, but does have 2 walks in play so far. Again, Knights just playing 2 games to get to this championship final, having won both of them. Grace takes strike 1. Strike two. Singer hits the outside corner. Gets the count in her favor at 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Foul, out of play. Stock stays alive. Grace, a big part of Calvin's success on the mound with her abilities behind the plate. Line, foul. Count stays 1-2. So important that bond between pitchers and catchers. Got to have a lot of trust there in order to have success on the mound, and you've seen that with both of these teams. Not easy being behind the plate, crouched down the whole game as well. Ball high. Count runs even at 2-2. Fouled back. Stock keeps her bat going. Abby Colin on deck for the Knights. Should Stock reach base? Line, base hit up the middle. 2-out single for Grace Stock. That'll bring up Abby Colin, first baseman for the Knights. Abby hitting 167 in this regional, but has scored 2 runs. Hit a home run against Franklin on Thursday. Ball high. Abby's also walked once. Fly ball, center field. It'll be overhead off the fence. Colin in with a double play at the plate. Stock slides home safely, and it's 1-0 Calvin. Hope second baseman Sarah Muschler was shaken up on the play. She's being looked at by Hope training staff and head coach Mary Vanderhoof. You can tell Sierra's laughing a little bit right now, so that's a good sign. Hate to have any player from either team get out of this regional championship any earlier than need be, and certainly not by their choice. And she's heading back to second base and is okay. We'll look to try to get the Flying Dutch out of this jam. Pitcher Anna Gernot with an opportunity to help her own cause. Anna's also hitting 167 in this regional. 1 hit, 1 run scored. Looking for her first RBI, and we'll try to get it here in the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss. Ball outside, evens the count at 1-1. Fouled back. Count now 1-2. Ball outside. Stop there by Reitzma. Runner unable to move up. 2-2 the count. Kaylee Frank on deck. Ball outside. Frank, the designated player for the Knights, counts full. Payoff pitch. Sharply hit just outside the first base line. Fortunately for the Flying Dutch, it's just a long foul ball. Strike 3 the call. Katie Singer gets a strikeout to end the threat, but not before the Knights get 1 run on 2 hits. We are through 1 here at Hope College in this NCAA Division III Regional. Calvin 1, Hope 0. Special thank you to our official NCAA corporate champions, AT&T, Capital One, and Coca-Cola. And also our official NCAA corporate partners, Buffalo Wild Wings, Buick, Dove, Enterprise, Google Cloud, Indeed, Infinity, Intel, Lowe's, Marriott Rewards, Nabisco, Northwestern Mutual, Pizza Hut, Reese's, and Wendy's. We thank all of them for their support of NCAA athletics. Four, 5, 6 up for Hope. Sierra Mushler, Katie Singer, and Savannah Dixon. We'll look to answer the Knights' offense in the bottom of the first.
Leading off the top of the second inning for the Flying Dutch, number 5, Sierra Mushler.
Ball inside. Line drive, base hit into center field. Sierra Mushler is on board with a leadoff single. Jordan Diaz.
Pitch runner for the Flying Dutch is number 4, Jordan Diaz.
Jordan Diaz will run for Sierra Mushler. Katie Singer,
Number 19,
Hope's pitcher, with an opportunity to help herself. Singer squares the bunt, puts the bunt down, gets by the pitcher, and that'll be a base hit. The pitcher vacated a position, and the third baseman could not get there in time. So the ball just kept going in the middle of the infield, and a break for the Flying Dutch. They get runners at first and second. And we'll get a runner for Katie Singer. Alex Ebert. Alex Ebert will run for Katie Singer.
now running for the Flying
Savannah hitting .222 in this regional so far. Does have an RBI. Puts another bunt down by into the shallow right field. Right field. Jordan Diaz will score. Runners move to second and third. And two well-placed bunts. And the Flying Dutch have evened this game and have a rally cooking here in the top of the second. Noel Jackson now up for the Flying Dutch. Takes the ball low. Ball two. Jackson ahead of the count. Their ball high. 3-0 the count on Hope's center fielder. Noel hitting .429 in this regional. Takes strike, taking all the way. Strike one, 3-1 the count. Third baseman Morgan Knaus is up next for Hope. We're tied here at the top of the second, 1-1. Fouled back. Garnett fights and gets the count back to full. Down the first base line and foul. Jackson stays alive. Line drive into center field, base hit. One run will score. Throw to the plate, not in time. Jackson in with a double, and the Flying Dutch have erupted for 3 runs here in the top of the second for a 3-1 lead. Calvin coach Becky Hilgert will come out and talk to her infield. Dramatic turn of events, but this is what can happen in a regional championship game, especially between two teams who know each other so well and play the game of softball so well. And we've got a long way to go.
Just so you know, we point out all of the dogs. This is the A team. This is the A team.
Third baseman Morgan Knaus up for Hope. Morgan looking for her first hit of the regional. She does have a walk and has been hit by a pitch.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 26, Morgan Knaus.
Ball low. Ball in the dirt. Good scoop by the Calvin catcher. Count 2-0. Puts the bunt down. Throw over to first. Morgan gets the sacrifice, gets the runner over to third. And that'll bring up right fielder Amanda Diaz here. 1 out. Got Flying Dutch looking to add to their lead. Amanda's batting 143 in this regional. 2 runs scored. 1 hit. She does have 2 walks. This is the bunt. Jackson throw wild into third. Jackson is racing home, and she's safe. A throwing error on the Calvin catcher, and the Flying Dutch have their fourth run of this inning. Strike the call. Correction, that so the count's 0-2 on Amanda Diaz. Ground ball, second base. Nice scoop by the Calvin second baseman for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the top of the order for Hope.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch.
Strike one the call on Shea Penny. Swing and a miss. Garnett struck out the side in the first inning, but Hope has been able to turn the tables here in this top of the second. Ball high. Joe Cook, left fielder, looking to get in at bat if Penny's able to reach. Outside, count even at 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout ends the threat, but the Flying Dutch come through with 4 runs for a 4-1 lead heading to the bottom of the second.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Knights.
Bottom of the second, Calvin will look to answer here. Kaylee Frank, the designated player, will lead off for the Knights. Ball just misses on the corner. Strike one, the call. Evens the count at 1-1. Grounder to first. Penny scoops it up, steps on the bag for out number 1. That'll bring up Kayla Groen, center fielder for the Knights. Kayla hitting 167 with 1 hit, a double in this regional. Ball outside. Swing and a miss. Count even at 1-1.
She did not want to be up there. So she was doing a little bit of that. When they tipped her over, she didn't like that. Then when they put the water on her, she kind of turned herself to see what was going on. She got the rest of it.
Ball low.
And she wanted to put her hand in the water so the cast was like free. Yeah. Oh, she is not happy. Look at that.
Swing and a miss. Count even at 2-2. Liner foul out of play over the first base bullpen here at Walters Stadium.
There she goes.
It worked out this morning. Roll's right there. The other game now. This is part of every game.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Singer. And that'll bring up
For the Knights. Number 23, Kristen Newman.
Kristen Newman, the shortstop for the Knights. She's had an exceptional regional so far, hitting .667, 4 hits and 6 at-bats, 3 runs scored. Ball outside. Been a tough out for both Hope and Franklin in regional games so far. Ball high. Count runs to 2-0. This is outside. Count runs to 3-0. First time Hope has scored in the second inning in this regional. They've done the bulk of their damage in the 4th and 5th innings for 11 of their 16 runs in 3 games so far. Strike one, the call. Fouled back. Count now full.
Whoa! Respond.
Beautiful 72-degree day here in Holland. Swing, foul ball down the first base line, out of play. Newman stays alive.
And it's a slow pace, but she's.
High ball, right field, caught by Amanda Diaz. 1, 2, 3 go the Knights. We're through 2 innings in this NCAA Division III Holland, Michigan Regional Championship game. Hope for Calvin 1. Back to action here at Walters Stadium on the campus of Hope College. We're head to the top of the 3rd inning. 2-3-4 coming up for Hope. Joe Cook will lead off for Hope. Ball high. Strike one, the call. Count even at 1-1. Swing and a miss. Garnott gets ahead on Joe Cook. 1-2 the count. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Garnott with her 5th strikeout of the day.
Number 17, Haley Reitzma.
And that'll bring up catcher Haley Reitzma. Fouled straight back.
Oh, like those people staring at me. Stop it.
Ball in the dirt. Count even at 1-1. Strike 2 the call. Garnott gets ahead 1-2 on the count. Ellie Borst warming up in the Calvin bullpen just in case. Ellie came in with some big outs on Saturday. Fouled back in the game against Calvin to help preserve that victory. Picked up the save. Grounder to third. Picked up by Brasser. Nice throw to first for the second out of the inning. Sharply hit ground ball. Fielded quickly by the Calvin third baseman Jessica Brasser for out number 2. And that'll bring up Sierra Muschler. Strike 1 the call. Swing and a miss. Garnott jumps ahead 0-2 on Hope's cleanup hitter. Ball high. Little looper to second. Nice diving stop by Maddie DeGroot for out number 3. And the Knights go down, or the Flying Dutch go 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the third. Calvin coming to bat. Hope leading 4-1. Left fielder Rachel Borden here leading off Calvin in the third inning. Ball outside. Rachel hitting .333 in this regional. 2 hits, 1 run scored. Ball misses, 2-0 the count. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Knights in this inning. Strike 1 the call. 2-1 the count. Swing and a miss. Singer works her way back, evens the count at 2-2. Ball misses outside, runs the count full. Ball misses outside. A leadoff walk, and that'll bring up Maddie DeGroot.
Now batting for the Knights, number 24, Maddie DeGroot.
Ball one. DeGroot grounded to second in her first bat, fouls that pitch back. Count even at 1-1. Jessica Brasser will bat next for Calvin. Grounder to second. Muschler throws, gets the force, takes care of the lead runner. DeGroot reaches on a fielder's choice, 1 out. That'll bring up Jessica Brasser, the third baseman for Calvin.
Number 34, Jessica Brasser.
Liner into right field. Safe, just beats it out. Good hustle by Brasser. Nice throw by Amanda Diaz, but the Knights get a rally brewing here. 2 on, 1 out. And Grace Stock, who started the rally for the Knights in the first inning with a 2-out single, will get at bat.
Grace Stock.
Ball high. Misses again. Nearly picked off. Muschler was just a little bit ahead of the bag and had to reach back, and that gave DeGroot the time she needed to get back safely. 2-0 the count. Fly ball, right field. Diaz slipped, lost her footing. And that's going to be a base hit. Run will score. Diaz came in on it and then realized she had to go back and lost her footing. The Knights get a run back. It's now 4-2. Runner still on at first and second. And Abby Colen will step to the plate.
Now batting for the Knights, number 8, Abby Colen.
Ball misses, ball 1. Ball outside, count 2-0. Abby already with an RBI today for Calvin. Grounder. Off the third baseman. Throw home. The Knights have answered. It's now 4-3. Hope's lead cut to 1 run after the RBI single by Abby Colin, her second of the day. And Anna Gernot, the pitcher, with an opportunity to help herself.
Now batting for the Knights, number 6, Anna Garnett.
Morgan Knaus, the third baseman, got her glove on it, but then it deflected off her into the field. Fly ball, center field. Jackson with it for out number 2. Runners hold. And that'll bring up the designated player, Kaylee Frank.
Now batting for the Knights, number 15, Kaylee Frank.
Frank will try to deliver a 2-out RBI or more for Calvin. Singer fires in strike 1. Ball outside. Count at 1-1. Ball outside. 2-1 the count now. Driven into the gap in right field, and that's going to be down for extra bases. Throw home, not in time. 2 runs will score, and Calvin has taken a 5-4 lead. 2-run double by Kaylee Frank. Going to get a runner for Frank. It'll be Bree Norman. As we said, after Hope scored 4 runs, we got a long way to go, and that's certainly the case as Calvin has answered. Center fielder Kayla Groen will now bat.
Now running for the Knights, number 5, Bree Norman.
Bree Norman will run
Batting for the Knights, number 12,
for Frank at second. Grounder to third, Knaus with it. Over to first, and that'll do it for the Knights, but not before they answer with 4 runs. And through 3 innings here at Hope College, it's Calvin 5, Hope 4. Back to action here at Hope College. Top of the 4th inning, Katie Singer. Momentum swings have been going up and down in this game. Now Calvin with it, up 5-4 after a 4-run third. Strike one, the call. Ball just misses, evens the count at 1-1. Ripped foul down the right field line.
There she goes. Wow. She's untouched.
Olivia's, just getting in there. Of course, it's warm. She doesn't have a coat on.
Nice breaking pitch. Strike three, the call. Garnott gets the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Savannah Dixon, the Hope shortstop.
Number 18, Savannah Dixon.
Fouled back. Ball just misses. Count even at 1-1. Noel Jackson will bat next for Hope. Ball two. Ball misses. 3-1 the count. Fouled out of play. Count now full. Ball in the dirt. Savannah Dixon gets a one-out walk here in the fourth inning. That'll bring up Noel Jackson. Well, batting .500 in this regional. Big hit in her last at-bat as part of that Hope rally.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 2, Noel Jackson.
First and third baseman in on the corner. Jackson takes strike one from Garnott. Jackson laces it down the first base line and foul. Garnott has gotten ahead of her 0-2. Fly ball out into right field. Ball is carrying. It's carrying, and it's off the fence. Savannah Dixon with it.
She's like, hurry up, Savannah.
Throw to the plate. She is safe. Aggressive base running by Dixon. Throw was a little bit offline, and Dixon was able to elude the tag.
No, she did not hit her with the ball. She did not hit her with the ball. She hit.
The Flying Dutch have tied the score at 5. That'll bring up Morgan Knaus, so a triple for Noel Jackson.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch.
And the momentum keeps going back and forth like a roller coaster. Knaus rips it foul. Ball in the dirt. Amanda Diaz on deck for the Flying Dutch. Another ball, 2-1 the count. Ball misses, 3-1. We'll see what Knaus, if she's taken or if she's looking for a ball to try to rip somewhere. Takes the ball. Ball 4 high. Flying Dutch have runners at first and third. That'll bring up the right fielder, Amanda Diaz. I believe we're going to get both coaches coming out. I think we're going to get a runner for Morgan Knaus. Alex Norp is going to be running at first base for Knaus. Calvin coach Becky Hilgert has finished her huddle with her players.
Now running for the Flying Dutch is number 11, Alex Norp. Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 33, Amanda Diaz.
Amanda Diaz now up to bat for Hope. Ball just misses. 1-0 the count. Strike one, fired in there by Garnot. With the bunt, dropped. That'll drop in, gets away from her. Norp all the way races to third. Diaz stays on first. A valiant effort by Brasser there to try to catch that bunt, which hung up in the air, but not able to get it. And a bunt single for Diaz. The Flying Dutch have retaken the lead, 6-5 now.
Number 16.
Back to the top of the order. Shea Penny now up for Hope. Penny rips it down the third base coach's box, but foul. Swing and a miss. Garnot gets up 0-2 on Hope's first baseman. Fouled out of play. Penny struck out twice today. Garnot's had her most success against Hope's first two hitters. Breaking pitch inside. Count runs even at 2-2. Or 1-2, excuse me. My fault there. 1-2 the count. Fouled back. Breaking pitch, grounder to second. Picked up by DeGroot for the out. But Norp comes home and scores. Hope now leads 7-5. 2 outs, a runner on second. Amanda Diaz. Joe Cook comes to the plate.
Flying Dutch, number 14, Joe Cook.
Cook fouls it out of play. Swing and a miss. Garnott up 0-2, looking for one more pitch to get out of this inning. Ball high. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That'll do it for the Flying Dutch in the top of the 4th, but not before they get 3 runs. Take a 7-5 lead heading to the bottom of the inning. Back to action here. NCAA Division III Holland, Michigan Regional Championship game. Hope needing to force game 2. Calvin looking to punch its ticket to a super regional with the victory. Hope leads 7-5. New pitcher on the mound for Hope. Sydney Jones takes over for Katie Singer. The Knights erupted for 4 runs last inning after Hope had scored 4.
Number 3, Sydney Jones. Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Knights.
Sydney with a 1.26 ERA in this regional, 2-1 record, lost to the Knights on Saturday. She will face Kristen Newman, the Calvin shortstop. 8-9-1 this to start for the Knights here in the 4th. Grounder, foul, evens the count at 1-1. Breaking pitch in there for strike 2. Fouled off. Newman stays alive. Again, challenge for both of these teams and both of these teams' pitchers, when you're facing a rival and someone you've met during regular season play in the conference tournament and already in this regional. Everyone's gotten a good look at you, so it's chess match going back and forth. Off-speed pitch, fouled again off of Newman. She will stay alive. Rachel Borden on deck for Calvin. Swing and a miss. Newman is retired. Rachel Borden now up for Calvin, the Knights left fielder. Ball just misses outside. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. Top of the order coming up for the Knights. Second baseman Maddie DeGroot will bat next. Strike on the outside corner. 1-2 the count. Fouled off. Borden stays alive. Ball in the dirt. Count even now, 2-2. Ball high. Borden works the count full. Grounder, stopped by Jones. Throws to first in time. Bang, bang play at first base. Flying Dutch get their second out of the inning. Good stop by Jones. Quick reaction. Sydney needed every split second she had to fire the speedy Borden out at first base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Second baseman Maddie DeGroot. Maddie already scored a run today. Ripped to center field. Jackson with it. That'll be a 1-2-3 inning for the Knights. We're through 4 innings here at Hope College. Hope 7, Calvin 5. Haley Reitzma leading off here in the 5th for Hope.
Impressive timing. Thank you. I even washed my hands. I'm like Phil.
Swing and a miss. Count even at 1-1. Fouled straight back. Breaking pitch, ripped to center field. Diving stop by the Calvin center fielder, Kayla Groen. Nice play there for out number 1. Those balls hit straight at you. Can be challenging for an outfielder. Kayla did a nice job there to haul that one in. Now that bring up Hope's cleanup hitter, Sierra Muschler. Muschler to left field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Flying Dutch Knights had her play deep and caught that one on the inside of the bat, but able to lift it into left field for a base hit. And that'll bring up the designated player, Katie Singer.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 19, Katie Singer.
Swing and a miss. Ball low. Evens the count at 1-1. Another ball low. Strike call. Nice soft speed pitch from Anna Garnot. Count even at 2-2. Ball in the dirt. Count full now. Grounder. Fielded by DeGroot at second. For out number 2, Muchler advances to second base into scoring position. That'll bring up shortstop Savannah Dixon.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 18, Savannah Dixon.
Strike 1 the call. Fly ball into the gaps, deep center field, off the wall. RBI for Savannah Dixon. Sierra Muchler scores. Hope leads 8-5. Savannah Dixon comes through with a big hit up the gap. And that'll bring up Noelle Jackson.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 2, Noelle Jackson.
Fouled off. Ball high. Nice off-speed pitch from Garnot. One and two the count. Jackson fouls that off, stays alive. Swing and a miss. Ends the top of the 5th for Hope, but not for the Flying Dutch. Take an 8-5 lead. We'll be back with Calvin batting shortly. Back here to Walter Stadium on the campus of Hope College. 2-3-4 up for Calvin here in this fifth inning. Strike one on Jessica Brosser. Ball one, evens the count at 1-1. Inside, 2-1 the count. Fouled right over top here, the press box. Swing and a miss for the strikeout for Sydney Jones. First out of the inning. That'll bring up Grace Stock. Grace 2 for 2 for day with an RBI and 2 runs scored.
Number 3, Grace Stock.
Abby Colin on deck for Calvin. Strike one on the inside corner. Ripped down, out of play, over the Calvin dugout. 0-2 the count. Swing and a miss. No throw, but a strikeout number 2 this inning for Sydney Jones. Abby Colin now up
Now batting
for Calvin.
number 8, Abby Colin.
Ball high. Grounder to Dixon at short. Fires to first, and the Knights go down 1-2-3. We're through 5 innings. Hope 8, Calvin 5. Back to action. 8, 9, and 1. Strike one, the call. Canals thought it hit her, but it did not. Well, we're going to take strike 2. inning here in this Holland Michigan Regional Championship game. Hope needs to win to force a second winner-take-all game.
You see me try to run to first.
Swing and a miss. Morgan down on strikes.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 33, Amanda Diaz.
Amanda Diaz takes ball one. Takes another ball down low. 2-0 the count. Ball misses. 3-0 the count. Strike one the call. Diaz taking all the way. Diaz rips it into center. Bree Norman with the catch for out number 2. Top of the order now up for Hope. It'll be first baseman Shea Penny.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 16, Shea Penny.
Penny fouls it back. Off speed pitch in there for strike 2. Penny fouls it out of play. Stays alive. Grounder up to short and into center field for a base hit. Just under the glove of Calvin shortstop Kristen Newman.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 14, Joe Cook.
Joe Cook now up to bat for Hope. Cook takes strike 1. Cook fouls it back. Garnott gets up 0-2 on the count. Outside. Penny on the move, and she'll be thrown out at second. That'll end of the inning for the Flying Dutch. They lead 8-5 heading in the bottom of the 6th. Back to action here at Wolters Stadium. Pitcher Anna Garnot batting for the Knights. Ball high. Evens the count at 1-1. Flying Dutch with 4 in the second. Calvin with 4 in the third. Then Hope with 3 in the fourth. And 1 more in the fifth for an 8-5 lead. Ball in the dirt, 2-1. Ball high. 3-1 the count. Strike 2, the call. Count now full. Ball hitter. Leadoff base runner for Calvin. Get a runner. Kimiku Hanatsu will be running now for Calvin. Kaylee Frank, the designated player, is at the plate.
Kamiko Hinatsu. Now batting for the Knights, number 15, Kaylee Frank.
Ball inside. Breaking pitch, 2-0 the count. Sydney Jones facing some early trouble here in this 6th inning. Hit her as well. 2 hit batters. And the Knights have a threat brewing here in the bottom of the 6th. Hopefully the Calvin player is okay. We'll be back after the short break. Franco will run to first. We'll have a runner for her as well. Bree Norman will run. Bree's the flex player and plays right field for Calvin. So the Knights have gotten the game-tying run to the plate with not a base hit here in the 6th inning.
Now running for the Knights, number 5, Bree Norman.
Kayla Gruen to bat. Grounder, base hit into left field. Runner will hold. The Knights have the bases loaded. And their top hitter in this regional coming to the bat, and Kristen Newman.
Now batting for the Knights, number 23, Kristen Newman.
Hope coach Mary Vanderhoof comes out to talk to her players on the mound. Calvin coach Becky Hilgert will huddle with her players by the third base coach's box. Swing and a miss. Strike one on the Calvin shortstop. And the setting is the Knights are in the driver's seat in terms of they win this game, they win the tournament. Hope needs to force a second game. Pitch, ball high, count runs to 1-1. Misses outside, 2-1 the count. Popped up. Out of play.
Yo, is you good?
2-2 the count.
Olivia's like, I can't take this. She's rubbing her leg. Like,
2-2 the count. Nobody out. Calvin has loaded the bases here in the bottom of the sixth. The Knights are looking to bounce back and after trailing 8-5. Ball in the dirt. Count is full. Fly ball, left field. Joe Cook makes the catch. Runner tags. Runners move up. 8-6 now our score. Hope with the lead, but the tying run at second base. One out here in the bottom of the sixth. Going to get a pinch hitter, it looks like, for the Knights. Mallory Holtland will bat here.
Now batting for the Knights, number 17, Mallory Holtland.
Ball outside. First pitch to Holtland. Mallory making her first appearance in this regional. Strike one, the call. Evens the count at 1-1. Fouled back. Jones now ahead of the count, 1-2. 1-2 the count. One out here, bottom of the sixth. Hope 8, Calvin 6. The Knights are threatening for more. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Sidney Jones, out number 2. And that'll bring up the top of the order for the Knights.
Now batting for the Knights, number 24, Matty DeGroot.
Matty DeGroot now will bat. Strike through the heart of the plate. Fly ball, center field, coming in. Noelle Jackson, she hauls it in. And that ends the Calvin threat. The Knights get one back. We're through 6 innings. Hope 8, Calvin 6. Two, three, 4 here. In the top of the 7th, Joe Cook leading off for Hope. Takes strike 1. Ball outside, count even at 1-1. Ball 2. Takes another ball high, 3-1 the count. Swing and a miss, count now full. Grounder, foul. Ball 4, a leadoff walk for Joe Cook. And that'll bring up the catcher, Haley Reitzma.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 17, Haley Reitzma.
Reitzma puts a bunt down. Retired on the sacrifice. Cook to second. One out for Sierra Muschler.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 5, Sierra Muschler.
Wild pitch. Cook moves up to third. Fouled out of play. Garnot's gotten up 0-2 on Mushler. Grounder foul. Grounder in right field. Base hit. RBI for Sierra Mushler. Hope adds, gets the run back. He gave up the 9-6 lead.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch. Number 19, Katie Singer.
Designated player Katie Singer now up. Off-speed pitch in there for strike one. Ball evens the count at one apiece. Ball 2-1 the count now. Off-speed pitch evens the count at 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch. Number 18, Savannah Dixon.
Savannah Dixon now up for Hope. Savannah had a big hit in her last at bat. Takes ball one. Ball, count runs to 2-1. Three and one now the count. Ball four. Flying Dutch get runners at first and second. Noel Jackson now up.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch. Number 2, Noel Jackson.
Strike one the call. Swing and a miss, strike two. Ball misses outside. Ball gets away in the dirt. Runners move up to second and third. Count even at 2-2. 2 outs here in the top of the seventh. Now a Too high opportunity for the Hope center fielder. Fouled off. Ball runs the count full. Fouled out of play. Jackson stays alive. Three RBIs today for Jackson, 2 hits, including a double and a triple. Jackson fouls another one back. Ball in the dirt. Jackson draws a 2-out walk. Bases are loaded for third baseman Morgan Knaus.
Now batting for the Flying Dutch, number 26, Morgan Knaus.
Swing and a miss. Fouled back. Garnott's gotten ahead 0-2 here. Ball just low. 1-2 the count. Ball high. Knaus has even the count at 2-2. Off speed pitch, strike 3. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Hope 9, Calvin 6. Calvin looking for 3 runs to tie the score, or 4-1 need 4 runs to win it. Trying to avoid a second game here. Two, 3, 4 here in the 7th for the Knights. Third baseman Jessica Brosser takes ball 1. Fly ball, deep, and off the wall. Jessica Brosser with a stand-up double to start the 7th for Calvin. Bring up Grace Stock, catcher for the Knights.
Now batting for the Knights, number 3, Grace Stock.
Grace 2 for 3 on the day with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Grounder foul down the third base line. Swing and a miss. Jones now up 0-2 on the count. Swing and a miss. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Abby Colin, Calvin first baseman. She's also 2 for 3 today. 2 RBIs
Number 8,
and 1 run scored. Swing and a miss.
I've seen that happen. I've seen that
I will be quiet, trust me.
happen. The story was all over.
Ball misses low. Count even at 1-1. Flying Dutch, of course, would prefer just to keep that game-tying run off, not being able to come to bat. They got a lot of work here to get the final 2 outs. Grounder, caught by Knaus, fired to first. The throw pulled an error on Knaus on the throw. Had to quickly get up and just pulled Shea Penny off the bag. So Anna Garnott is going to bat, but not before we have a conference at the mound with Hope coach Mary Vandehoof and Calvin coach Becky Hilgert will huddle with her base runners and batter at the third base dugout. This game's been full of momentum swings, so nothing feels over until that third out is recorded. Flying Dutch need to win to force a winner-take-all game. Granat now up,
now batting for the Knights, number 6,
looking for her first hit of the game. Was hit in her last appearance. Ball high. She represents the game-tying run. Looks like we're going to get a new Calvin batter if this inning continues. The Flying Dutch aren't able to turn a double play. Fouled, straight back. Count even at 1-1. Kaylee Frank took one off the leg after being hit. Kennedy Geiger is warming up in the batter's box for the Knights. Hopefully Kaylee's okay. Strike 2 the call, inside corner. 1-2 the count.
Oh my god.
Fouled out of play. Garnott stays alive. Ball high. Count even at 2-2. That'll be a ball. Home plate umpire ruled Garnott stuck out her knee rather than making an attempt to avoid. Now explaining it to Hope coach Mary Andehoof. Doing anything she can to try to get on base. Base runners are paramount for the Knights. Count now full, 1 out. Runners at first and third. A little ripped foul down the third base line. Count remains full. Pitch, another foul ball. We're not battling to stay alive. Swing and a miss. Sydney Jones with an off-speed pitch gets the strikeout. Knights are down to their final out, and we'll have the pinch hitters we talked about earlier. Kennedy Geiger is going to bat for the Knights. Kennedy Geiger now batting for Calvin. Needs to reach base to keep this game going. Hope looking for the final out and force one more game here at Wolter Stadium. Strike one. Jones fires it down the heart of the plate. Ball inside. Count even at 1-1. Fouled back. 1-2 the count. Grounder to Knaus at third. Fire to first, and that's the ball game. Your final score, Hope 9, Calvin 6. Check back on the Hope Athletics YouTube page. We'll be ready for game 2. About 30 minutes, 30 or so minutes, we'll get game 2 underway.